Welcome to the Motherhood Alliance podcast, the podcast dedicated to empowering moms and families on their health and wellness journey. I'm Brittany Suttner.
And I'm Andrea Rinkus. Together, we're here to explore holistic approaches that go beyond conventional medicine.
Each week, we dive into topics that matter most to you. Everything from nutrition and mental health to alternative therapies and natural living.
And whether you're a new mom navigating the early stages of parenthood or a seasoned pro looking for new ways to support your family's well-being, you're in the right place.
Even better, all of our guests are local small business owners who you can actually talk to and work with. You can learn more about today's guest and connect with hundreds of other health and wellness professionals through our informative and easy-to-use directory at motherhoodalliance.com.
Before we get started, keep in mind that this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for personal healthcare advice. Please consult your healthcare provider before making any changes based on the podcast content.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. Are you ready to help your family thrive? Let's get started. Hi, we are Britt and Drea from motherhoodalliance.com, and we are excited to welcome you to a 4-episode series with Dr. Abbie Goodman and Dr. Natalie Meyerhofer, the fun 2-woman team at Inspire Family Chiropractic in Appleton, Wisconsin. Before we jump into today's episode, we wanted to share a little bit about each of them. Dr. Abbie grew up in Appleton, attended UW-Eau Claire for her undergraduate degree, and then went on to complete her schooling at Northwestern Health Sciences for chiropractic. In 2017, she ventured into business ownership and opened the doors to Inspire Family Chiropractic. While she loves providing chiropractic care for the entire family, she has focused trainings, certifications, and passions for the prenatal and pediatric populations. Dr. Abbie loves spending time in the yellow sunshine, enjoying yummy food and coffee, camping, hiking, traveling, and spending time with her husband and 2 young kids. Dr. Natalie grew up in Iola, Wisconsin, and now lives in Kaukauna with her husband and 1-year-old son. Because her mom was a chiropractor, Natalie was blessed to be able to witness the miracles of chiropractic from a young age. Dr. Natalie attended UW-La Crosse for her undergraduate degree before heading to Minnesota to finish chiropractic school, and during her schooling, she discovered a passion for prenatal, pediatric, and family wellness chiropractic. In 2021, Natalie lost her mom to ALS, and now she has found the best way to remember and honor her is to provide the same care and dedication that she showed her patients every day. These 2 ladies are a breath of fresh air and literally radiate sunshine themselves, which is why we know you're not only going to find these 4 episodes with Abbie and Natalie educational, but also incredibly fun to listen to. It's time to turn up your volume and let's get started with today's conversation.
Welcome back to the podcast. We're back here with Dr. Abbie and Dr. Natalie. We are going to delve deep into your specialties, helping pregnant mamas and postpartum mamas in particular. I guess the first question we have is, why are mamas typically seeking out your care? Like, why are they seeking out chiropractic care? And we touched a little bit on some previous episodes, but let's talk about that again.
Yeah. The typical mama coming in, especially if she's already pregnant and looking for a chiropractor on her team, is looking, of course, for her body help. So helping with any of the signs and symptoms that can come across during the pregnancy journey, helping with the crazy mom stress that can settle into our muscles, our nerves, our joints along the way. But also a lot of people are seeking us out because they hear that chiropractic can be such a benefit during it. And truly, maybe they don't even know why.
Right.
Yep. So it's truly just potentially looking at just the wellness factor of their pregnancy journey.
Right. Yeah. And how does it, obviously it helps moms. Coming pregnant during pregnancy, seeing a chiropractor helps the moms with their bodies, but how does it support the growing baby?
Mom's body is doing so much during pregnancy to help baby grow in general. Like mom is kind of that source that baby is feeding off of, growing off of, and everything. So our goal, and I think what a lot of moms are seeking is like, they have that understanding that they're like, okay, I need to take care of myself to take care of my baby. And so that's a huge part in the role that we play is like making mom comfortable, right? Like de-stressing mom, helping mom feel like she has a village and a support system and all of the above. So that everything that she's doing in life is just a little bit easier so that her body can kind of, not have to focus on like feeling comfortable or doing all these things. And her body can really, truly help this baby grow, give baby nutrients, do all of those things.
Yep. We say a lot in our office too, just a happy mom is going to be a happy baby.
Yeah,
a stressed
absolutely.
out mom is going to be a stressed out baby. So if we can get them on that positive side and ease side, then baby's just going to flourish and keep growing the way that they're supposed to. And mom can just focus on taking care of herself instead of all the other things going on around
absolutely.
her.
And what you just said actually brought up a really interesting question in my head, which I don't know if you'll know the answer to, but if a mom is really stressed out during pregnancy, does she tend to have a baby that is more fussy? Like, does that kind of, I don't even know that the word trauma is the best word to use here, but does that like internal trauma that the mom is feeling during pregnancy reciprocate into how the baby is born and comes into the world?
Yes. And that is not to make any mom feel guilty.
No,
because that's such a hard question to
absolutely not.
answer, right? Is be like, you were stressed, now your baby's stressed. No guilt there at all. But yes, because your body is helping build their nervous system. And so, you know, if you are stressed and you are just overwhelmed by all of these things, then it kind of feeds into the baby and how they're growing and developing.
Just think you're sharing hormones.
Yeah.
You know, so if baby's getting those stress hormones, you know, that's how it is. And that's just a whole nother reason why we should be trying to take care of ourselves, right?
And even into that postpartum journey, babies use us, and not even just mom, dad too, but they use us for so much of that regulation for themselves. They're not able to do all of these things like we think they should, like soothing themselves and whatnot. So they're really relying on us and our nervous systems to be able to be that calm point.
Yes.
So that they can rest and just focus on the things that they need to do, which is basically eating, sleeping, pooping, growing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's all they got to do.
It's a good task.
Right. Well, but even when they're just, you know, laying on the floor observing, they're learning so much.
So
just
much.
about the colors around them and the shapes and like just everything that they're taking in visually is overwhelming.
Yeah.
It can be very overstimulating. So,
well, and I just remember when my oldest son was a little baby, I remember having him lay on my chest, and I was deep breathing, like I was just trying to regulate myself. And then I know, you know, he picks up on that too, because if you're going to calm space with somebody else, it just makes sense that they would be picking up on that, right?
I think that was like my favorite part of that early stage, and they still can do it. Like even my 2-year-old, if he's like going in his sensory overload, if I just start really loudly breathing, he'll calm himself down because it like reminds him of that. But I thought that was the coolest thing as a brand new mom, was watching that little infant just regulate off of your own breath. Is so cool.
Yeah, there you go. It's super awesome. That's awesome.
We're like superheroes, you know, like we can like change and like it's contagious. And that's, I mean, we're talking about kids right now, but it even just makes me think about like entering into a room of who knows what. You can kind of like help set the tone for the entire room based on how you're behaving and breathing and like the energy that you bring to the room. I was just going to
say your energy. Yeah, there's definitely that for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if a woman has an established chiropractic and is now, you know, trying to conceive, should she consider switching to a specialized chiropractic for the season? You know, what is your opinion on that?
It's a great question. Of course, it depends who they're seeing at the time. Absolutely. I mean, if you have a relationship with a chiropractor, great, because we love it. We love all of our colleagues, but talk with them about it. You know, have they worked with individuals that have been going through the preconception and infertility journey? Everyone's journey also is very different. If they've been with the same chiropractor for a few years and they're still in the infertility journey and they're seeking something else out, like talk with your chiropractor first and foremost.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then absolutely, if I feel like all chiropractors typically have the best interest of heart of our patients and want them to flourish through their journey. So then you could seek out a specific chiropractor that has worked in those seasons of life. There's, you know, to my knowledge, maybe Dr. Natalie, you know better, I don't think there's truly any techniques specifically, or I shouldn't say techniques, certifications specifically for preconception infertility. But the certification for prenatal is called Webster technique, and we know what that can do for the body, and it's a very specific technique and training that you take for this, and that can absolutely help during the preconception infertility journey as well.
So that's an instance where once you are pregnant, it may be in their best interest to see a chiropractor who is certified in that during pregnancy.
Yes.
And obviously just having a conversation with their current one, like, I love you and you're doing, like, you've done so well for me, but I am going to switch for now. And then, you know, so.
Totally.
Yeah. You would agree with that?
I would agree with that. I'm glad you brought that up because absolutely. Once you go through the training, you realize how vital that technique is for the prenatal mom. And for baby, because it's absolutely the safe adjustment from a chiropractor during that time. So yes, seek out a Webster-certified chiropractor. You can find it on there. There's a organization called the ICPA where you can get your Webster technique, and they have a website. We can have that available for the people listening to the podcast, but seek out those chiropractors specifically.
Okay. Yeah. And then in this episode, we actually, so our prior episode, we really walked through each of the different seasons of life and the benefits that chiropractic can really bring to that. So if you are currently pregnant or you're trying to conceive, go back and listen to episode number 3. But also in this episode, we wanted to kind of talk outside of chiropractic a little bit as well. Who do you ladies feel like should be on a woman's pregnancy and postpartum support team? Because as Dre and I experienced with personal training, like even though we're wellness advocates, we can't do it all.
Yeah.
And we're not meant to do it all. We're not specialized to do it all.
Right.
So having a support team is really important. So who are kind of the main people that you kind of refer to or you feel like are really important for your pregnant mamas?
That's a great question. So if we're talking just pregnancy, and let's start with pregnancy and then maybe talk postpartum. Chiropractic. Massage is a huge one because I feel like chiropractic can't do it all, right? Like you just said, we can't do it all, even though I would love to say we can. But I feel like massage helps just relax everything too. And it's another one of those things, like you can lay on your belly, right? There's specific pillows that you can have that opening for your belly to be able to lay into. But I feel like that just helps like relax all of the tightness, everything there.
Yeah. With those
anyone
physical
else,
changes.
Yes, the physical. Anyone else for pregnancy?
I mean, I would add a pelvic floor PT and establishing during pregnancy with someone there.
Very much. Yeah.
Yes.
Because if you can start that prior to postpartum, it's huge.
Well, and a lot of women even start experiencing symptoms like leaking and things like that during pregnancy, and it doesn't have to be that way. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. And those are like, of course, it's more the practitioner level, but then you can truly hone into the non-practitioner and just making sure that you're surrounding yourself with the support system at home. So your spouse, your family, seeking friends that are similar in thought pattern, also not just similar. You can also be able to bounce ideas across with them because going through motherhood is a lot. And especially during that prenatal phase, if, especially first-time mamas, you got all the questions in the world, and to have that support team surrounding you, it's the biggest piece of it. We're not meant to do this alone.
And then who are you commonly referring to for the postpartum timeframe? Or you hear women coming into your office and kind of expressing that they need help in certain areas?
Yeah. Well, similar to prenatal, we've got the massage and the pelvic PT. Those are 2 big ones. But then we start to add in lactation and supporting, because of course, like a chiropractic can help with mom and baby with easing their body and making sure that's all in full ease of function. But sometimes we truly need other practitioners, and we love referring out for lactation consultants for that ease.
Yeah, especially if you are planning on breastfeeding, which I think a lot of moms go into it thinking it's going to be easy and natural because that's all the words around breastfeeding. Yeah. And it can be a very daunting journey when things do not work how you thought they were going to work. And yeah, lactation is amazing for that.
Oh, and actually another one I just thought about is I know, Natalie, you had talked about in a prior episode of how something you really struggled with was asking for help after you had Carson.
Yep.
There actually are postpartum doulas. So like if you have family members where you're like, I'm just not asking you to like come wash my dishes and help me out and hold the baby so I can take a nap. I just don't have that in my family, or even I feel like I'm burdening my friends. There are postpartum doulas. And we didn't mention that for prenatal, but obviously like midwife, doula, there's things like that. And then another piece that I feel like you guys really help tie into, but is that mental health side. So having like a perinatal specialized mental health counselor could also be a really good person just to establish care with during pregnancy and like ask questions to. And you may or may not need to see them after, but at least you know someone if you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it can be a lot easier in that world approaching someone potentially like before, the big word postpartum depression can sit in. So knowing someone prior can be very helpful.
Yeah, I think almost setting all of this up, before the postpartum. Because when you're in postpartum, you are in the trenches and you are not thinking about anything else. But when you're pregnant, like
you have time.
You have time.
You're nesting. You're getting things ready.
You're getting everything ready.
So get it ready for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not just for baby, not just the nursery, not getting diapers. It's good, but you need to be getting your care established for yourself before you even need it. Right.
And that's even going off of that, like even right when we're making our registries. And I feel like we still make it such like materialistic things, which are all things that we need and are fun to have. But I think you guys have talked about this too, of like asking your friends and family, whoever is getting you gifts, to be like, can you, give us a gift of a lactation visit, or like a package of 4 lactation visits, or
well, and that's a great, I love that you brought that up, because I mean, obviously all of these people, all of these specialties can be found on the Motherhood Alliance website in our directory. And we do have gift certificates. Like if somebody wanted to buy a $50 gift certificate for their pregnant friend, they can use that at any one of the businesses that are part of the Alliance that are participating in that program. So it's like, this is an opportunity that they could do for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I also would love to hear a little bit about your own personal journeys when it came to pregnancy and birth, mainly because you're wellness advocates. Like you have all this knowledge in your head. Like obviously this is great advice, and you get some of this advice by going through it. Right. But knowing what you know about the body, your in-depth knowledge of the body and just how stress works and things like that, how do you feel like you did during pregnancy and even your birth experience? And is there anything that you would change if you could go back knowing what you know now?
I love this question. So I'm being a 2-timer mama with 2 babies. Both my experiences, I had both hospital births, but they were very different. And again, you learn from your own experiences. And with my first one, being a wellness practitioner, I kind of had this like feel that, I have to do it a certain way. And I had to kind of get out of that bubble, because it had to be my way, like mine and my husband's way. So, anyways, with our first, we had a very fast birth in the hospital. And now knowing what I know with pelvic PT, like you brought up earlier, I did not do anything prenatal with my first with Haley. And it was a really quick birth. And then so my body response afterwards, besides chiropractic care and massage, I really wasn't doing much else besides that. So then got pregnant again with number 2 with Jordan, and pelvic PT was a big part of the prenatal journey and then postpartum journey. And I feel like that was a huge part of that learning curve. So just being able to implement the things as you keep learning them, as you are brought up to your realization. I think that was a big piece for both of my journeys from one compared to the other.
How about you, Natalie?
My pregnancy was super comfortable, but I was getting adjusted too. I think I was getting adjusted like once a week from the moment that I knew I was pregnant, but also being surrounded by chiropractors. It's easy to do.
It's helpful.
So this is something that I feel like we don't always talk a ton about, but even getting adjusted like during your labor. So I was probably in like early labor yet, but I remember calling Abbie and being like, please adjust me. Like my back hurts so bad.
Yeah.
And that felt so good. And I feel like that's something that we should offer to our patients more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
hey, if you're in labor, we can help.
Totally.
But there was just some stuff going on with Carson. I think he was just stuck, or he wasn't quite ready to like move into the next spot. So getting adjusted and kind of realigning everything really, really helped with that. But I also took your Prepared for Postpartum course, which was amazing. And like we were talking, like doing it during pregnancy, I feel like I retained all of this stuff. And then like when I was in postpartum, I was like, oh yeah, Britt and Dre said to do this. So like, I don't know if you guys remember your shower thing when you're talking about your glutes, right? And you were like, you need that like staggered stance. I shower like that every day.
Awesome.
Like, Britt said this. And I'm like, hey, pull one leg back. Because I can feel like my glutes and everything, all the changes with that.
Yeah.
But other than that, labor was just long. It was 30 hours and supposed to be a home birth turned into a hospital birth because I just got tired. And my husband was so supportive. The best, but he wanted a hospital birth from the beginning. So when I told him, yes, he was like, yes, let's go.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So literally got to the hospital, started pushing Carson out. It was great. So we just went up to the room and had him. And
so you didn't have to worry too much about interventions and all that stuff.
Right.
That's nice. Yeah.
Well, but to your point, like, I think that's also a huge piece that women, during pregnancy, they just like stew on what the birth process is going to look like.
Yes.
Like that's what you think about the whole time.
Yeah.
But then also because it can be, you can make a birth plan and it may not go perfectly, being able to pivot with some flexibility like you said, of like, okay, I went into the hospital, and like that can be traumatic. Like the pivot that people have to make can be really traumatic. So, I mean, that's another shout out for chiropractic too, is just when it comes to traumas in your life or things that are outside of your control, those are all stressors that live within us, and to help to be able to release them, you guys can help with that. Now, I do want to touch on, I know you guys are adding a couple more things into your practice. So you're going to be adding in some nutritional support as well as dry needling. So let's talk a little bit about those. What will your nutritional support look like?
So right now we're planning on, hopefully, I don't know, Abbie, are you planning on doing this?
Yeah.
We're chatting about this
Right,
now on the
we're
podcast.
yeah,
What
I
are we
love
doing?
it. Right.
No, we have been really into functional medicine.
Awesome.
If you're familiar with that, is kind of looking at like the root cause of why things are going on, and then using lifestyle changes, diet changes, supplements, all of that to kind of help with whatever is going on with you. But we've just been seeing so many people in our practice that they're already the perfect candidate for functional medicine. We just can't offer it to them. And so we were just like, why don't we just do it? And we can have all of it here. Because it's just a great piece to add to chiropractic.
It truly
sense.
is. Like if your nervous system is fully functioning already, and we still have that missing component, it's hard in our lifestyles these days. Like, I mean, I know we could go on a whole nother podcast about stressors on the body, like we talked about in a prior one about the 4 T's. Toxins is just such a big one. The chemical exchange of our system, and yes, the nervous system, it's in full force. It should be able to handle it. But if we're deficient, which most of our society is deficient because of the different soils we have and the foods that we're putting in our body and everything, hormonal exchange. So what we're finding is our patients are in wellness, but there's still a missing piece. And that is where we felt like nutrition needed to finally come into our practice. So
nutrition for you is actually nutrition it's way more than that.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is way
doing
deeper.
like lab testing and things like that too? Are you actually pursuing like a functional medicine certification, or are you looking at more of like supplementation, and that's why you're kind of calling it the nutritional side?
I don't know if we'll do lab testing. I mean, we could obviously maybe not in our practice, right? Refer it out and then bring it back in. But that's, definitely like looking at food allergy tests, right? Or hormonal tests when we're talking all about our preconception journey and the fertility journey that a lot of people are on. Functional medicine has become huge for that, and just balancing and regulating hormones on top of chiropractic care. But yeah, all of it, even vitamin D, living in Wisconsin, vitamin D testing is huge. So to do all the testing and then to have the supplementation to be like, okay, now we see your results. These are the next steps that we need to take.
Now, but this would be different than like a registered dietitian would look like, right? Like if somebody is like on a weight loss journey, this wouldn't necessarily be something to contact you for. It's more
Correct.
of like a wellness addition to make sure that you're optimizing
gut
your health.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. Bringing that body in balance. Truly. Yes. So, we'll most likely be bringing in some types of testing, but not in-house, like Natalie was saying, but being able to bring balance into the body versus, like a weight loss journey or something.
Yeah.
And,
or like a meal plan.
Correct.
Like specific.
And that might happen along the way.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, there's general guidelines and recommendations and
Totally.
things like that you can help with. But
Well, we're excited to see you roll these out. Kind of a little bit of TBD on how all this is going to come out, but that's exciting to be able to share that that's coming. And then the dry needling side, I want to just touch on this really quickly just to give people a little bit of an overview, because I think everybody by now has heard of dry needling, but a lot of people have not experienced it. Has the word needle in it? Like, is it scary?
I'm
What
so
does it actually
excited
look
for
like?
you guys. This is so great.
Can you just walk us through like what is dry needling and how does it, like, what's the benefit?
Yeah.
Why
Why are you offering it? Yeah.
Right. So again, kind of the same thing with why we're finally bringing nutrition in is we're referring out for it all the time. And even though we love our colleagues, it's a piece that our bodies are just stressed. So a lot of the times our adjustments can't set in the body as beautifully as we want them to, because that muscle system is just too complex. So what dry needling is doing is it's going to that motor unit, which a motor unit is where the nerve tells the muscle to contract, and it can go right into that area and tell the nerve, chill out and take a break. And then we can get in there with our chiropractic care and get it to reset and fully take that parasympathetic calm into the body. So bringing it in, it's yes, we could absolutely still refer out like we've been doing, but now we can do it right along with the chiro side of our office and make it just
Yeah, but you think about somebody coming in, if they can get dry needling done and that helps relax that area, well, that specific area, and then you can do an adjustment on it right away, it saves them time, it saves you time, it helps you and them fixing whatever their problem is, right? All at the same time. That's great. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're super exciting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love hearing the expansion almost. And then we go back to episode number 1 where I'm like, how are you doing these extra things? Because you have families
we're gonna do more.
Kids and
it's our team.
Yeah,
we do it together.
All right. Well, to finish out these 4 episodes, I would love for you guys to just kind of share a little bit about what you think makes your office unique, a little bit about the culture of your office and the vibe that you have, and help people understand. Obviously, they've gotten to know you really well through these 4 episodes, but what do you love about your office specifically?
Oh, I love that we get to finish with this. Well, the 2 duo girl team has been just amazing at our office. Everyone says when they walk in our doors, they're like, oh, I love the vibe in here. It's calm, it's inviting.
It's bright.
We're obsessed. Well, I'm really obsessed with yellow. So our office
yellow
is
growing on
with
me.
Yellow. Yeah. But it's just happy and inviting. And everyone loves that they can bring their kids. Even if the kid's not being seen that day, it's just welcoming. We love having our kiddos in the office playing. And so it's just a fun, positive vibe. So I just love that part of our everyday.
Yeah.
That it's truly just comfortable. Come as you are.
Yes. Yeah.
Bring those kiddos in their jammas.
Mm-hmm.
It's inviting.
Yes. It's for the whole family. Like we have baby gates up.
Yep.
People love that.
Yep.
Our whole toy area. Yeah, we do. And then, just having our kids there too is so fun.
It is.
Because they all get to grow up together, and people always come in and ask, like, if it's a day where Haley and Jordan or Carson aren't in, they're like, oh my gosh, where are they today? Like, I'm so sorry they're at home today.
Right. And it's so cool to watch as a mom practicing that our kids get to grow up with the people that we get to see every day, and they get to see our kids because they see us every day. So it's pretty neat, the unique experience of that.
Well, and what awesome examples you guys are to, like, not only these families that are coming in, but the kids as they're growing up. They're growing up learning that wellness is important, and like their bodies are important, and that there are resources in the area, and that you're not scary, and that it's fun to be healthy.
It is. Yeah, absolutely. And it's fun to listen to our body. It's talking to us all the time.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. One more time, can you just share what your website is?
Yeah, absolutely. With InspireFamilyChiropractic.com.
Perfect. So if you had any questions, or you just want to connect with these ladies, ask them a question or two, or even just say hi, give them a ring or go on their website and send them an email, and they would love to be able to serve you and your family. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. This has been so fun.
Thank you so much.
If you enjoyed this episode, would you consider leaving a rating or review, or sharing it directly with a friend who could benefit from the information? We know that you're a busy mom or caregiver, and our goal is to make your life easier by bringing tips and tricks directly from experts into your earbuds. By sharing this episode with someone you love, you can play a critical role in helping to make their life easier as well. We appreciate your time, and thank you for being a part of the Motherhood Alliance family.